the Democrats are rebranding.
The establishment needs to step in, and they are. They need to provide you with somebody who believes in everything.
I just want somebody to tell me who to vote for so that I don't scare away the hoes.
And also, more importantly, nothing. Not one thing. Not one thing. Enter a woman who I believe is the establishment choice for the presidency. She does not serve, by her own admission, she does not serve only one ideology. She has worked for both Bush. I believe she worked for Obama. Let's play. And by the way, she recently told Bernie Sanders, she recently said, I don't want you to use the word oligarchy.
That's interesting, because Bernie Sanders loves that word. So does AOC. The oligarchs!
I don't want you to use the word oligarchy because it doesn't resonate with the American people. Here's what that really means. Stop talking about this thing that exists that I work for. Stop speaking of this. Shh. Stop talking about this. You're giving away the game. You're giving away the game. She doesn't want anyone to have a word for the thing, this blob, that doesn't serve anyone except the financial interest of a small sliver of the population who write humorous pieces for a magazine in Boston. Now...
It's not just that, though. You got the whole J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel connection. Mencius Moldbug and the New Right. Are the oligarchies fighting?
She had a very close Senate race, this woman.
This is my favorite comedy assassin, by the way. Just because he's a fellow Long Islander.
She had a very close Senate race. Now, she had the edge in donations because the donations pour in, and we know where they come from. This is what happens. All of a sudden, someone from the intelligence community decides they actually have a passion for democratic civil engagement, and they want to be a congressman or a senator. They come from the intelligence community. They say, I'm sick of poisoning people at different embassies. I want to be in front of the camera. And they all of a sudden, this person starts to be very well funded.
Kash Patel?
They start to show up out of nowhere. This bitch who no one knows about gives the speech when Donald Trump gives a State of the Union where whatever you think of Trump, he is killing. He's got a young black kid with brain cancer. He's like, you're the Secretary of Defense or whatever he did. It was killer. Now, this bitch out of nowhere is just like Barack Obama, by the way, plucked at, and Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, to be fair. I mean, he came out of what?
Tim Dillon is schizo-pilled? Interesting. Are we looking at another psyop from the deep state?
Texas, he was, I mean, we knew his parents, but this guy just emerged. These people emerged. Now, he was the governor of Texas. He had won an election, but a lot of these people just emerge. So this woman, Eliza Slotkin...
Like the WEF lizard? Mark Carney? New PM of Canada? Who ran on the slogan, Trump bad? Chat, we're looking at the next president of the United States. First female.
Emerges from the depths of Langley, Virginia, from some basement under the CIA. We don't know who this woman is. She ran a very tight Senate race. She got a lot of funding and a lot of money. And all we know about her so far really is that she's here to promote bipartisanship. And she's against wokeness. And the Democratic Party's got to with the what? But don't speak about the oligarchy.
Thank fuck. It's got my vote. Holy shit. Is this the base department?
She's not woke, but she doesn't want you to talk about the oligarchy. So now here she's from the CIA, and she's now...
How is this guy funny? Can someone explain it to me, please? Dude, you just don't get it. You're looking at one of Joe Rogan's top guys.
Emerged. She's now the senator, and it was a tight race, but she somehow, all of the money started coming in, and she had these high-profile endorsements. Here is one of her campaign ads, why she's running. Eliza Slotkin for the United States Senate. Go.
For me, Michigan is where it all started. No matter where I've gone in my life, no matter who I've met, nothing is more important.
Changed my mind. She's not getting my vote. She's too high calorie. She goes in a deficit. I'll think about it.
To me than this place. My call to public service started on 9/11. It was my second day of grad school in New York City. And by the time the smoke cleared, I knew I wanted a career in public service, protecting my country.
She's Chungus coded.
I was recruited by the CIA to be a Middle East analyst.
Yo! He wasn't lying. A Middle East analyst?
And sent overseas to do 3 tours in Iraq alongside our military.
Huh. What do you think about Abu Ghraib?
I came back to work in the White House under 2 presidents, 1 Republican and 1 Democrat.
Nah. It's too perfect. It's too clean. I'm not loyal to anyone.
But no matter what crises I've lived through, nothing tested me more than when my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer.
You trying to pull on my non-existent heartstrings?
And she didn't have health insurance. She had let it
Free Luigi! Luigi Mangione, I want back shots! I'm a mentally ill white woman, please!
lapse after many years of being gouged by the insurance companies because she happened to have a pre-existing condition. It was like a grenade went off in our lives. I took a leave of absence, came home to Michigan.
I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at this part. However.
And the same week and the same month that we're desperately trying to get her life-saving care was the same week and the same month that we filled out the paperwork.
And I killed my own mother. I killed my own mother to prevent her suffering. I looked at her and I put a pillow over her head and I killed my mother. Eliza Slotkin, everyone. She is the... Sorry about her mother, but this is what we get. I
can't wait to be inundated with liberal brainwashing about why I should vote for her in 2028 against J.D. Vance. Thanks, Obama.
Served under 2 presidents. You're a spook. So when you talk about the permanent government, you talk about it. This is.
So the problem with intelligence communities is that the deep state is pretty goddamn real. David Talbot, Devil's Chessboard, unelected officials. They're appointed, rather, that do not have term limits, chilling in Georgetown. Alan Dulles speaks of this.
This is how you're being sold, this woman who's showing up. It's how you were going to be sold. Pete Buttigieg, I'm gay, and I was the mayor of a town in Indiana that no one heard of. Which...
That one got me. A gay joke is going to get your boy every time. Call me old-fashioned.
Actually, I mean, the town Pete Buttigieg was the mayor of was probably just one of those, when you showed up to it, it was just cops stopped you and told you couldn't go further. It was like one of those alien movies where they just cordoned off the town and there were borders, you couldn't get to it. It's like, what is the mayor, what? He's another one. They throw these people at you from like the bowels of the government. They're like, you're gay, your mother's dead, you're black. Everybody's got... So we have Eliza Slot.
You're talking about intersectionality, Tim?
Okay, now get up her quote about...
woman, slightly fat, dying mother, government background. I mean, dude, perfect.
Bernie Sanders. I want to see that because she went at Bernie Sanders and said, I'd like you to stop using the term oligarchy. And Bernie Sanders actually responded to her and was basically like, hey, I think the American people are a lot smarter than you think they are, which she responded, oh, God, I hope they're not. God, I hope they're not. I hope they don't find out it was me to put the bombs in the elevator shafts. Eliza Slotkin, Democrat.
Avoid using the term oligarchy because it doesn't resonate outside coastal institutions. Suggested the Democrats say kings instead. We're looking at another PSYOP campaign. What is this called? AstroTurfing? No, doesn't quite do it. What is it called in intelligence when you use coded language to diminish the severity? Doublespeak. Deliberately obscuring, distorting, or reversing the meaning of words to make the truth sound more palatable or to mislead the audience. Commonly employed in political language, corporate communications, and military contexts to soften the impact of negative information or to manipulate public perception. Another term closely related to this practice is a euphemism. Algo-speak, a form of coded language designed to evade automated content moderation systems. Aesopian language, Aesop's fables, technique where writers use allegorical or coded language to convey messages to insiders while avoiding censorship or repression.
Michigan was while recently discussing the Democrats' brand crisis. And now, by the way, why is she an expert in this? Why is this woman an expert in the Democrat brand crisis? Isn't it interesting that this woman who's very new to politics is an expert in the Democratic brand crisis? She knows everything about. Doesn't this feel odd? Her campaign's well-funded. She's out to work for 2 presidents. My call to serve started when the towers were smoking. My call to serve
Honestly, same. I'm still pissed about that, bro. 2 things your boy perpetually pissed off about. 9/11, the Hagia Sophia. I'm just saying.
Started at 9/11. I decided I want a career in public service, so I went into the Central Intelligence Agency. It's odd. I went into the CIA, and I worked in the White House under 2 presidents, and I realized that nothing really mattered, and that reality is what we make it. We create reality. My mother got diagnosed with cancer. Guess what? I don't even have a mother. Who gives a shit? Vote for me.
Yeah, she sounds like she was grown in a test tube and groomed for her role. What's your point, Kimberly? A lot of politicians. This is why Teddy Roosevelt stays on top. Ask ChatGPT or your favorite AI tool. Which president had the most aura? Which president is beating all other presidents in hand-to-hand combat? Rugged individualism. Man in the arena. Rough rider. Big stick diplomacy. They just don't make them like Teddy anymore, bro. They just don't.
I'm kind of fat because it doesn't. So here she goes. While recently discussing the brand crisis, I'm sorry I said fat. That was
Betsy Boy with the bits. Fake Glory says, what's the movement? Right now you're watching Third Eye Global, the most disruptive multimedia empire in the cyberspace. You're already in the right place. It's only a matter of time till you start to understand.
While recently discussing the brand crisis, told Politico, is Gavin Newsom still doing his podcast, by the way? I tried to get on. They said no. While recently discussing the Democrats' brand crisis, Eliza Slotkin told Politico that the party ought to avoid using the term oligarchy because it doesn't resonate outside coastal institutions, and suggested that the Democrats say king.
I'm gonna break the 4th wall again. We're live over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Philion TV. Every single chatter has a membership badge next to their name. And that's because we have a simple policy here at Third Eye Global. Everyone is welcome. Don't apologize for being late to the stream because you're early to the movement.
Kings instead. She wants them to say kings. Here's why she wants them to say kings. Because it's fucking retarded. And if you say kings, you easily mean Donald Trump. Kings. If you say oligarchy, that means there's an entire class of people.
Right, there's a network of these high net worth individuals puppeteering politicians.
That are a problem. There's an entire network of people that are a problem. But if you say kings, you can isolate Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And I've criticized Elon Musk a bunch, and I will probably later on in this episode, but that's why she wants to use the word. And by the way, there's a meeting where that's decided, okay? She doesn't serve.
As if it's just men. Kings is gendered language. Oligarchs is neutral.
Any political party. She serves a group of people who meet in the woods, and they tell her they have some food for her, and she goes there, and they say, listen to me. We're not doing oligarchy. We're saying kings. Then they might not even tell her the reason, but I'll tell you the reason. So we can hang all the problems on Trump and Musk. When Sanders talks about an oligarchy, it means there's systems that prop people up. There's a network of people. We don't like that. We don't want that. Just say the word kings. So this woman who, is a senator or wherever she's from here pops up. And they tried to do this with Buttigieg. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
Wasn't Pete Buttigieg calling people's houses? Just like, yo, it's Pete. I'm gay. You like gay people, right? You gonna vote for your boy? Dude, a vote for me is a vote for everyone.
He was in Iraq. They always try. This is something that, and again, it's not the Democrats. The Republicans try to do this all the time. And it's not any political party. It has nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with an establishment candidate that makes everybody feel comfortable. Mitt Romney, Bain Capital. Mormon Mitt Romney, who ran out there and was like, I am a billionaire's...
That's a good point. Trump, J.D. Vance, and their current administration is a wild card. A lot of people did vote for it. And that makes the establishment very uncomfortable. So they need to appeal to bipartisanship to return to the status quo, the baseline. This way they could churn out the same war machine, they could commit the same fraud, and they can give the illusion that everything is A-okay. It's quelling the masses with bread and circus by playing into emotion, empathy, and shared values, whether that manifest in intersectionality, right? She's a woman. She's a liberal. But she has some traditional values to her. Just walking the tightrope perpetually. Appealing to everyone and no one at the same time. There's a lesson in there.
Billionaire. I like money and money likes me and daddy likes everybody.
She's just like your mom. You'd vote for your mom, right? I remember they tried to do that with Bernie as well. He's like your grandpa. Even Tim Walz. Tim Walz, he's a football coach. Guys, isn't that so wholesome, Chungus? Wow.
Getting their beak wet. That was the establishment candidate for the Republicans, Mitt Romney. There were other people in that primary. You don't remember any of them, but they are. But they always coalesce around a certain person. They wanted Ron DeSantis.
They're orbiters until they're not.
Because he would have been more malleable, more controllable, but he was a goofball, and it didn't work. He had the charisma of a shoe, and he couldn't get in. So it didn't work. But they would have been a lot more comfortable with a guy like Ron DeSantis. Okay? The way a lot of this works is they're comfortable with two types of people. One, someone who they have...
What's her name again? A lizard slopkin?
They control file on. Someone who's done illegal things that they know about, and they can say, remember this?
Damn. Is that really how it works? A dossier? Fucking black bag folder? I don't doubt it. That's 100% how it works. It's the only way it makes sense. I'm telling you, intelligence as a community is overpowered, needs to be nerfed. And you know who actually tried to nerf it? JFK. This guy too, Frank Church. Church led the Church Committee, Senate Select Committee, to study governmental operations with respect to intelligence activities. Absolute giga-chad in the flesh. 1975, Church and his committee uncovered numerous covert operations that violated legal and ethical standards. One of the most shocking revelations was the existence of the CIA heart attack gun, a dart gun capable of delivering a lethal dose of shellfish toxin, designed to induce a heart attack without detection. Church famously displayed this weapon during a televised hearing, symbolizing the extent of the agency's secretive and potentially lethal activities. It led to significant reforms, including the establishment of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence in 1976 and the enactment of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act in 1978, which imposed stricter oversight on intelligence operations. Pivotal in curbing the unchecked power of intelligence agencies and restoring public trust in governmental oversight. But guess what? There's not enough Frank Churches in this world for that to actually matter. Because nobody holds them accountable. They get away with everything. And I would never have any sort of illicit material on this computer. My hard drives are squeaky fucking clean. Okay? I literally just got new tires on my car. My brakes are perfect. I'm a skilled driver. I'm sober. And I do not experience any signs of depression whatsoever. In fact, I'm very happy. So, I just want that to be known.
Yeah! Or they like people...
Don't they have a noise gun that makes you feel like you're on fire? Are you talking about the Havana Syndrome? This shit is creepy as fuck. Havana Syndrome is the name given to a set of unexplained medical symptoms first reported by the U.S. and Canadian diplomats and intelligence officers in Havana, Cuba, in late 2016. They reported a range of symptoms that began suddenly, often after hearing strange noises or feeling pressure in their heads. Dizziness and vertigo, headaches, tinnitus, hearing loss, cognitive difficulties, fatigue, visual problems, sleep disturbances. Similar incidents were later reported in China, Russia, Germany, Washington, and Vietnam. Directed energy attacks, mass psychogenic illness. Just everyone experiencing the same thing across the world. Nothing to see here. It's not a foreign adversary or a directed energy weapon. Just anonymous health incidents,
If they don't have a control file on you, you are such a hollow shell of ambition that you simply are a careerist where advancement is your only thing. You will tear the flesh off someone's face with your teeth to get ahead. These are the two types of people they like.
Damn. That was rather eye-opening and interesting. Guess we gotta wait and see how it plays out. New challenger has entered the arena. I can't wait to vote for her. She needs my vote.